Is that hand done with my life? Only for bedtime, when nobody knows what I'm packing. We have 2 sleeves of adult incontinence diapers. Doesn't that just make you want to shit your pants? No? Absolutely. I can do that. Let's make a chronological timeline of every A Long Halloween Night story, including year, story title, main monster, and main character. This will give a clear view of how Ashmore's horrors unfold through history. Here's the full timeline based on what you've provided. A Long Halloween Night, chronological timeline, year, story title, main monster, main character, history. 1600s, Children of the Hollow God, Malzareth, Father Solomon Vire. 1600s, The Summoning of the Hollow God, Father Solomon Vire. 1600s, The Devil Within Me, Malzareth, Father 1600s, Epilogue, Salazareth, Malzareth, Father Solomon Vire. 1600s, The Vampire Hunt, Lady Seraphine, Vampire, Gregor Vance. 1700, Resident Hill, Byrock Goatman, Villagers. 1880, The Mothman's Light, Mothman, Missing Boy. 1944, The Dead War, Nazi Zombies, Detective's Father. 1976, 2022, Future You, Future Me, Time Paradox, Supernatural Tale, Cassidy Vane. 1983, No Face Hallucinations, Perception Based, Young Girl. 1994, The Sewer King, Vermix, Female News Reporter. 1994, A Rat in the Maze, Vermix Female News Reporter. 1995, A Thousand Last Moments, Supernatural Hauntings, Ghostly Visions, Young Christian Teenage Girl. 1995, The Mothman Returns, Mothman, Victims Townsfolk. 1995, The Goatman Returns, Byrock Goatman, Young Man at Camp. 2019, No One Can Hear You Scream, Zytherian, Ashley McLean. 2020, The Final Save, Red Watcher, The Weepers, Split Jaw, Crawling Nurse, Mark. 2020, The Red Watcher Walks, Red Watcher, Victim. 2022, Choose Your Ending, Stalker, Human Threat, Teen Boy. 2023, The Torture of God, VR Manifestations, Various Test Subjects. 1994, Epilogue, Hail Vermix, Vermix, Transformed Reporter, Female News Reporter. 1600s, Epilogue, Solomon Returns, Rotting Solomon, Malzaret's Aftermath, Father Solomon Vire. 2001, School of the Dead, Human Terrorism, Surviving Students. 2001, Epilogue, Hospital Survivor, Trauma, Psychological Horror, Survivor. A Long Halloween Night number 5, Detective Elias Crow, Malzareth, Vermix, Lupo, Goatman, Mothman, The Silencer. Detective Silencer series, Caleb Morrow, The Silencer, Caleb Morrow, Sarah McLean, Detective Elias Crow. The Book of Malzareth, Detective of Crow. I noticed a few stories, like Elias Crow's Adventures and the Silencer series, don't also make a visual. Here's the polished case log number 2, exactly as a proper police log from Detective Elias Crow's perspective, keeping it formal, chronological, and investigative in tone. Case log number 2, The Silencer, 2026 Resurrection. Detective Elias Crow. Subject Caleb Morrow, The Silencer. Date of entry October 31st, 2026. Location Ashmore, various districts. Following long-term investigation of Caleb Morrow, known as The Silencer, new evidence has emerged concerning his 2026 resurrection. This log details confirmed incidents in Ashmore related to Caleb Morrow's post-resurrection activity prior to the events in Jackson City. 01. Unburying and Resurrection Incident. Location, Ashmore Cemetery, Riverside District. Date, October 30th, 2026. Incident, Sarah McLean and an unidentified accomplice exhumed Caleb Morrow's remains. Action taken by perpetrator. The accomplice drove a metal pole into the corpse. During a lightning storm, energy from the strike reanimated Caleb Morrow. Outcome, Caleb Morrow returned in an active, aggressive state. The accomplice was killed on sight. Sarah McLean fled. Observations. Caleb exhibited pallid skin, glowing eyes, and a distorted expression of rage. Witnesses suggest lightning interacted with an unknown supernatural element in Caleb's body. First kill post-resurrection location, Ashmore Riverside District, alleyway near 5th and Main. Date October 31st, 2026. Victim male, 32 years old. Incident, victim found impaled through the chest. Cause of death consistent with pre-resurrection silencer MO. Notes, security footage shows a humanoid figure matching Caleb's size build. Movement exceeds normal human speed. Attack executed silently and precisely. Hazard 3. Industrial District attack location, Ashmore Industrial District. Date, October 31st, 2026, later evening. Victim, male, 27 years old, decapitated. Incident, multiple entry points. Surveillance disrupted, possibly by electrical interference from Caleb. Notes, damage to metal structures indicates superhuman strength. Victim dismembered in line with prior silencer methodology. 4. Teen Party Massacre location, Ashmore Residential District. Date, October 31st, 2026, late night. Victims, multiple teenagers. Sarah McLean present incident. Caleb entered the party and killed multiple male and female victims. Sarah survived. Intervention. Detective Crow engaged from balcony. Caleb vanished after gunfire. Notes. MO consistent with prior cases. Throat slitting, precise stabbing, silent approach. Victim's injuries match historical silencer signature. Half 5, Ashmore Memorial Hospital attack location, Ashmore Memorial Hospital. Date, October 31st to November 1st, 2026, incident.
And then we have this right here.
Absolutely. I can create that. Here's a visual floor plan concept for the Ashmore Museum, showing all the exhibits as a walkable path through the museum based on the story from Volume 4, Number 3. Ashmore Museum floor plan concept. You can see the code in our conversation history. Visitor flow and notes. 1. Grand entrance hall, orientation and historical overview. Mural connects all Ashmore legends. 2. 1600s wing. Focus on occult or...
Yeah, the 1600s wing, which is Hollow God Altar, Baraka Dagger, even though that's in the wrong area, that would be the 1700s. And Lady Serafina Azimbit.
Origins, cults, vampires, and early monsters. 3 1700s to 1800s section.
Lepo Specimen, Resident Hill Map, and Historical Journals.
Folklore and supernatural creatures documented, immersive dark corridor atmosphere. 4 1880s Mothman Wing, dim lighting, eerie sketches, looping video for immersive suspense.
Eyewitness sketches, Red Eye and Wings, and 1995 surveillance loop.
5 Modern Ashmore Wing,
Vermex canister, shadow camera, red watcher monitor, and X display.
Horrors and news-related monsters, multimedia presentation of events. 6 2000s and VR exhibits.
VR headset / Torture of God, and Gaskell attack monitors.
Interactive and memorial-based displays of virtual horrors and human tragedies. 7 Silencer section, dark, chilling space. Case files and props convey psychological terror. 8 Hall of Malzereth's influence.
Silencer section, Caleb Morrow mask and cloak, case files, weapon replica. Hall of Baraka, Vermex Claw, Hall of God, Altar Fragment, and Book of Malzereth.
Centralized evil nexus, connecting all monsters and artifacts across time. Dim colored lighting for atmosphere.
And then there's
this layout
then there is an exit / gift shop.
Allows a visitor, or Detective Crow, to move chronologically through Ashmore's cursed history, from 1600s origins to modern-day horrors, ending with the pervasive influence of Malzereth, tying all events together. If you want, I can also make a more detailed visual map with rooms, corridors, and artifact placements. Almost like a mini interactive museum plan, so you could walk through it in story form or for reference in future tales.
Anyways, here is the more detailed version. Grand Entrance Memorial Ashmore History, 1600s through the 2020s. Central Glass Case, Book of Malzereth. Case. Lightning, warm Abbott, soft spotlight on memorial floor. Marble with faint cracks, echo footsteps. 1960s wings, that's occult origins, hollow god, altar fragment behind glass. Baraka / Goatman dagger, rusted on velvet. How do you say this word? Gregor Vent tools and journals, latest portrait, dimly lit crimson eyes. Low flickering candle effect. Corridor, wooden floors, echoing footsteps. 1970s, the Lupo folklore and legend. Lupo specimen, glass cylinder, Resident Hill map, faded, pinned to wall. Journals describing village terror and murders. Sketches of red eyes and giant wings. 1995 security footage loop. Dim red and blue lights. Shadows flickered. Audio whispers of children crying. Vernix black liquid canister. Glass display. Shattered camera. Cameraman's death story. Red washer monitor and rot world figure. As display. A Xenex. How do you say it? Alien display. Fake alien parts. Clippings. Light. Cold wind. White overhead. Occasional flicker. VR headset. Torture of gods. Screens. Test subject trapped in VR paradise. School gas attack. CTV. Clips. Memorial. And then the silencer section, which is a white mask and black coat replica, butcher knife replicas, case files, and timeline of attacks, 2012 to 2026. And then the Hall of Malzareth intro, Baraka Horn, Auto God fragment, yeah. And then the images with the grand entrance hall, and then the 1960s Hall of God altar, Baraka's dagger, and Lady. So yeah, see, that's the altar. That's like the dagger area in Lady Seraphine. Specimen, Resident Hill, and old journals. And then we have Vermix canister, Red Watcher, and display here. And then the Mothman exhibit. 2000s. The silencer area. And this. So yeah. So, Mom, will you say we're probably going to be eating from tonight?
I don't know. I'm figuring maybe I'll order, but I'm not for sure if that's what your dad's going to order or not.
Okay. I was just wondering.
Here's a full, detailed duo dossier concept for Marilyn Monroe and Malzareth in the A Long Halloween Night universe, written as a companion piece for storytelling or visual reference. Duo dossier, Marilyn Monroe and Malzareth. Marilyn Monroe alias, mother of Caleb Monroe, ghostly guardian. Birth year 1975. Place of birth, Ashmore, USA. Status deceased, manifests as a ghost. Overview. Marilyn Monroe was the loving mother of Caleb Monroe, whose untimely death haunted her son and shaped his descent into becoming the Silencer. In death, she continues to appear to Caleb, acting as a moral compass and protector against the darker forces surrounding him, including Malzareth. Personality: gentle, nurturing, and morally upright, protective and emotionally supportive of Caleb. As a ghost, patient, consoling, and occasionally admonishing, emphasizing her enduring maternal bond. Abilities, ghost form. Selective communication, appears only to Caleb, providing guidance and warnings. Emotional stabilization, temporarily soothes Caleb's violent impulses. Limited spiritual resistance, can resist dark forces but cannot permanently banish Malzareth. Role in story, acts as Caleb's conscience and emotional anchor. Appears at key events, the 2012 Asylum, Caleb's 2026 killing spree, and Ashmore Memorial Hospital fire. Provides fleeting protection against Malzareth's possession, helping Caleb resist its influence. Malzareth alias, the Hollow God. Type ancient demon entity. First known host, Father Solomon Vira, 1600s. Other hosts, Byrock the Goatman, Caleb Morrow, Vermix, partial, possibly Whisperjack. Status active, seeking new hosts. Overview. Malzareth is a millennia-old demonic force capable of inhabiting mortals and amplifying their darkest impulses. It has orchestrated much of Ashmore's supernatural history, manipulating its hosts to sow terror, despair, and death. Personality traits. Cunning, intelligent, and manipulative. Feeds on human fear, trauma, and corruption. Views humans as instruments for spreading influence. Leaves weaker hosts for stronger vessels when necessary. Powers. Possession, full or partial control over hosts. Amplification of violence. Heightens aggression and trauma-driven impulses. Curses and residual effects. Leaves lingering supernatural phenomena. Manifestation. Rarely manifests outside a host in demonic or shadow forms. Cross-generational influence. Persists through artifacts, writings, and previous hosts. Notable hosts. 1. Father Solomon Vira. First host, initiated Malzareth's presence in Ashmore. 2. Byrock Goatman. Undead killer. Spread terror across centuries. 3. Caleb Morrow the Silencer. Malzareth amplified violent tendencies, influencing key killing events. 4. Vermix. Partial influence noted. 5. Potentially Whisperjack. Suggestive hints of lingering influence. Role in story. Central supernatural antagonist connecting centuries of Ashmore horrors. Catalyst for Caleb's transformation and ongoing chaos. Links multiple storylines. Solomon, Byrock, Vermix, possibly Mothman, and the Silencer's legacy. This dossier sets them up visually and narratively. Marilyn as a protective, ghostly figure, soft and ethereal. Malzareth as a looming, shadowy demon, intelligent and sinister. I can now make a comic-style visual duo image of Marilyn Morrow as a ghost alongside Malzareth in a demonic form, matching the aesthetic of the other A Long Halloween Night character art. Do you want me to create that image next?
No.
Here's a fully detailed character bio for the Silencer, Caleb Morrow, polished and expanded with all known story elements from the A Long Halloween Night universe. The Silencer, Caleb Morrow. Real name, Caleb Morrow, alias The Silencer. Birth year, 1996. Place of birth, Ashmore, USA. Occupation, serial killer, former asylum patient. Affiliations, none. Status, deceased. Briefly resurrected as a zombie in 2026. Origin. Caleb Morrow grew up as a deeply isolated and emotionally fragile child. Constantly bullied and ostracized for his odd behavior and appearance, he found solace only in his mother, Marilyn Morrow. Her death left an indelible void in his psyche. At age 15, Caleb vanished into Ashmore's woods, entering a period of deep psychological deterioration. Haunted by visions and the ghost of his mother, he began his violent path, initially targeting those connected to his traumas. His early killings were driven by rage, fear, and emotional instability, laying the foundation for his identity as the Silencer. Powers and abilities. Expert stealth and assassination, capable of silent movement, ambush, and precision attacks. Enhanced reflexes and strength. Years surviving in isolation augmented his natural abilities beyond normal human limits. Tactical genius, able to anticipate and manipulate victim behavior to lethal effect. Psychological manipulation, uses fear, intimidation, and suspense to disorient and control victims. Post-resurrection durability, 2026, briefly became zombie-like after lightning strike, stronger, resilient, yet driven by violent impulses amplified by Malzareth. Weapons: black cloak for concealment, blank, a motionless white mask, butcher's knife, primary, occasional improvised tools, or sharp instruments. Notable murders and crimes: 2012, early murders, targeted isolated victims, escalating in both violence and cunning. Verdelak family, 2011, specific high-profile victims reflecting personal trauma triggers. 2026 Ashmore killings, 6 confirmed murders within a week across Riverside and industrial districts. Targeting Sarah McLean, repeated attempts to eliminate his sister, his primary emotional anchor. Psychological profile: strong attachment to his mother, interacting with her ghost as a moral and emotional guide. Displays obsessive-compulsive tendencies, social detachment, and compulsive violent behavior. Guilt is intermittent, mostly reserved for select victims, empathy generally absent. Heavily influenced by Malzareth's presence, which magnified aggression, impulsivity, and psychotic tendencies. History of possession and influence. Malzareth's influence ties Caleb to Ashmore's supernatural history, linking him to previous hosts. Father Solomon Vierer, 1600s, original cult summoner, Byrock Goatman, 1700s to 1990s, Vermix, partial influence. Malzareth exacerbated Caleb's violent tendencies, particularly during the 2026 resurrection events. Post-resurrection, Caleb displayed zombie-like endurance and near-superhuman lethality while retaining partial awareness of his actions. Victims: multiple teenagers during residential attacks, parties, hospital incidents, several adults in Ashmore, Riverside, and industrial districts, the Verdelak family, additional victims linked to early stalking and murders. Known survivors: Sarah McLean, estranged sister and primary target, survived multiple attacks, protectively intervened, surviving direct confrontations with Caleb. Legacy: the Silencer represents the convergence of human trauma and supernatural influence in Ashmore. His life and crimes are directly connected to the town's most terrifying entities, including Malzareth, Vermix, Mothman, and Byrock. Even after death and temporary resurrection, Caleb's presence and legend continue to haunt Ashmore, symbolizing the town's persistent cycle of horror. Here's a continuation with the 10 scariest potential monsters that could appear in future A Long Halloween Night stories, keeping in line with the universe's dark, supernatural aesthetic. Top 10 scariest potential monsters in Ashmore. 1. The Whisperjack. Type: shadow predator, mind manipulator. Appearance: a tall, emaciated figure draped in moving shadows, mouth constantly whispering unintelligible phrases, glowing eyes like smoldering coals. Visual style: creeping nightmare that blurs edges of reality, never fully seen, only felt. 2. The Crawling Nurse. Type: haunted humanoid, supernatural manifestation. Appearance: deformed nurse in tattered uniform, crawling on all fours, face contorted, missing eyes, elongated fingers like claws. Visual style: hospital horror brought to life. Here's a full chronological timeline chart of all the stories across the main universe, alternate universe, and A Long Halloween Night events, organized by in-universe year and story sequence. Here's a chronologically organized timeline for all the stories you listed, separated into the main universe, pre-Halloween Night, the alternate universe, Ashmore, A Long Halloween Night, and superhero universe material. I've included both the in-universe event order and story sequence for clarity. Saga 1 timeline. Main universe, pre-Halloween Night universe. 1. The Abyssal Hierophant. Number 1, Where the Tide Remembers. Introduces cosmic mystical horrors tied to tides and memory. 2. The Thorned Mare Number 1, When the Hut Walks. Folk horror. Haunted hut and supernatural mare terrorize countryside. 3. The Thorned Mare Number 2, The Winter Wedding. Continuation of the Thorned Mare story during winter festivities. 4. The Thorned Mare 3, Winter Knows Your Name. Concludes the winter saga of the Thorned Mare with personal consequences. 5. Alistair 1, A Lion in the Fog. Introduces Alistair, navigating a mysterious fog-shrouded city with supernatural threats. 6. The Lovelorn Hex 1, A Spell Written in Silver. Magical romance intertwined with curses and hex love stories. 7. The Architect of Fate #1, Foundations. Origin of a world-shaping architect figure manipulating destiny. 8. Love of the Grim Reaper's Soul #1, The Lantern That Stayed, introduces the Grim Reaper's supernatural romance and human interactions. 9. Love of the Grim Reaper's Soul #2, The Misdelivered Girl, explores tragic fates and mortal interference in the Grim Reaper's world. 10. Love of the Grim Reaper's Soul #3, When Night Meets Dawn, concludes the Grim Reaper love arc with fateful consequences. Alternate Universe Timeline, A Long Halloween Night, Ashmore. Volume 1, Origins. 1. Children of the Hollow God, 1600s, cult summons Malzareth. Father Solomon Vire participates. 2. The Mothman's Light, 1880. Little boy eaten by the Mothman near abandoned church. 3. The Sewer King, A Rat in the Maze, Epilogue. Hail Vermix, 1994. Vermix attacks reporter. Homeless cult worships it. Reporter transforms. 4. A Thousand Last Moments, 1995. Teenage girl witnesses repeated family suicides. 5. The Goatman Returns, 1995. Bayrock, Goatman terrorizes summer camp, killed with magical dagger. 6. No One Can Hear You Scream, 2019. Ashley McLean survives Cytherian alien aboard spaceship. 7. The Final Save, Red Watcher Walks, 2020. Teen trapped in Last Light game, Red Watcher kills him. 8. Choose Your Ending, 2022. Teen's date ends in multiple deadly outcomes. 9. The Torture of God, 2023. VR paradise becomes living hell, survivors trapped in trauma. Volume 2. Modern Ashmore, Malzareth's Legacy 1. Future You, Future Me, 1976 and 2022. Cassidy Vane travels back to meet younger self. 2. Halloween 1995, Girl Sees Ghosts, supernatural events affecting teenager. 3. October 31st, 1600, Giant Worm, Hollow God event, rituals and cult-related supernatural activity. 4. Halloween 2002, Fish Monsters, aquatic horrors in Ashmore. 5. 1996, Goatman returns again, Bayrock resurfaces with murderous intent. 6. Epilogue, Silence Halloween 2026, Silencer murders and Crow investigation. Caleb Morrow, The Silencer's 2026 resurrection events. Volume 3, Escalations and Silencer origins. 1. The Whisper Evil Puppet Terror, unrelated to Silencer. 2. Caleb Morrow origins, disappearance, 2011. Early signs of violent tendencies, disappearance into woods. 3. The Family of the Vardalak, 2011. Caleb begins targeted family killings. 4. Ashmore Memorial Hospital fire, 2012. Silencer, Malzareth attacks. Hospital fire. 5. Death Race First Murders, Asylum, 2012 and 2026. Caleb's early killings, 2026. Zombie-like resurrection and spree. Volume 4, Museum and Malzareth Nexus 1, Deceased, Silencer Resurrection, Sarah McLean Survival, 2026. Caleb Morrow attacks, Sarah survives, Ashmore on high alert. 2. The Book of Malzareth explains Malzareth's connections, Vermix, Mothman, Bayrock, Whisperjack, Silencer. 3. The Ashmore Museum, full tour, catalogs artifacts and monsters from all prior events. Main universe, superhero universe timeline. 1. Pterodon, Corval of the Living Core, origin story, alien protector fuses with Living Core, becomes Pterodon. 2. Night Smoke, origin of Vera Noctis. Teen discovers smoke powers, becomes Vigilante Night Smoke. 3. Tyrian Flux, origin of Tyrian Vega Cosmic Storm grants elemental control, becomes Tyrian Flux. 4. Volt Strike, origin of Darian Dare Pierce, quantum battery accident gives electricity powers, becomes Volt Strike. 5. Team Formation, the Elemental Sentinels Pterodon, Night Smoke, Tyrian Flux, and Volt Strike unite in West Haven. This chronological organization helps track Ashmore's horrors, the Silencer's rise, and parallel superhero universe events, while separating Halloween night. Here's a complete list of every superhero in your universe so far, with concise descriptions and their roles. Superheroes in your universe. 1. Pterodon, Corval of the Living Core. Real name, Corval. Title, The Living Hammer of Earth. Overview, alien warrior fused with Earth's living core, becoming a massive stone and energy guardian of the planet. Powers, super strength, living rock body, seismic shockwaves, control of Earth and tectonic energy, planetary energy form, seismic form. Role, cosmic level protector of Earth, frontline powerhouse. 2. Vera Noctis, Night Smoke. Real name, Vera Kairos. Title, Shadow Vigilante of Ebonreach. Overview, Teen metahuman controlling living smoke. Fights crime, metahuman experiments, and searches for her missing mother. Powers, smoke manipulation, smoke constructs, stealth infiltration, martial arts mastery, role, stealth, reconnaissance, and intelligence specialist of the team. 3. Tyrion Vega, Tyrion Flux, real name Tyrion Vega. Title, The Elemental Boy. Overview. After a cosmic storm fused him with elemental energy, he gained control over fire, water, air, earth, ice, and electricity. Powers. Elemental control, fire, water, air, earth, ice, electricity. Combination of elements for advanced attacks. Role, versatile elemental powerhouse of the team. Harfor Darian Pierce Voltstrike, real name Darian Dare Pierce. Title, The Storm of Voltaris. Overview. Electrical engineer who gained lightning-based powers after a quantum accident. Protects his city with speed, electricity, and strategic planning. Powers, electricity generation, energy absorption, super speed reflexes, electrical control over technology. Role, team leader and strategist of the Elemental Sentinels. The superhero team, the Elemental Sentinels. Members, Voltstrike, leader, Pterodon, Night Smoke, Tyrion Flux. Base, Sentinel Core, hidden underground command center beneath West Haven. Mission, protect West Haven and the world from cosmic threats, rogue metahumans, and supernatural disasters. 5. Alan Holt, Green Torch Era, World War II Overview. Wartime hero wielding mysterious green energy flames to combat enemies during the war. 6. Hal Ashford, Green Torch Era, Modern Day Overview. Chosen by a cosmic alien ring from the onlookers of the galaxy, can create green energy constructs with immense power. Total superheroes so far. 1. Pterodon. 2. Night Smoke, Veranoctis. 3. Tyrion Flux, Tyrion Vega. 4. Voltstrike. 5. Alan Holt, Original Green Torch 6. Hal Ashford, Modern Green Torch. I can also create a visual hero dossier chart showing all 6 heroes, their powers, and silhouettes together, like an official universe codex if you want. Do you want me to make that next?